I'll note a couple other things. What I heard around the table was, as they submitted their modal forecasts, to be clear, weren't, this was more likely than not. This was more likely than their other scenarios. So I didn't hear tons of conviction. What I heard was the kind of humility that I think we should have. I did not submit a dot. For me, it's not helpful in the conduct of policy. I suspect by year end, as I mentioned in my opening statements, there'll be a review about communications broadly, press conferences, dots, meetings and the like, transcripts, minutes. This will be part of that. I don't want to prejudge the outcomes there, but I'm pretty open-minded about what they could be. And I was just incredibly impressed over the last couple of days. My colleagues over the last 2 days, and frankly, over the first 3 weeks I've been here, they've been very open about changes. Change isn't easy, change is filled with risk, but our number one goal is to get monetary policy right. The way to get monetary policy right is to deliver on the remit that Congress gave us, to deliver on price stability. And there was no disagreement on any of those points.
At the risk of possibly getting the same answer about task forces, communications, what is your feeling about these news conferences? Are you going to continue one after every meeting? Do you find them useful? What is the future for the way Kevin Warsh will communicate?
Well, this one's probably got another 15 or 20 minutes in it, so I don't want to prejudge the outcome. Press conferences can be a very useful way to communicate with households, businesses, and more broadly through using the likes of you. I had a great old mentor named George Schultz, and his mantra was press conferences are useful, but when you have one, you want to make sure you have something important to say. Today, I think we had something important to say about our commitment to deliver on price stability, our commitment to rethink practices with an eye of moving the Fed forward, and to give you and the American people a sense that these aren't idle thoughts, these are concrete thoughts, that we're going to seek out the best minds, both the best thinking inside of the Federal Reserve and the best people I know in business and economics and the academy and technology and the rest, to share their views. That's what we're going to be doing here, the pursuit of truth. I think we're going to come up with some new and interesting things. We made some changes today. I expect more changes to come. And some of those might well be worthy of a press conference.
Hi, Chris Rugaber at Associated Press. Thanks for taking our questions. Could you give us a sense of how you see inflation more in the long term? I know you may not want to comment on the ups and downs, but is this mainly driven by energy prices in the Iran war at this point, or do you have any concerns about underlying inflation pressures in the economy? Thank you.
So I can't do much better than the committee just did. So let me restate it. Inflation remains elevated relative to the committee's 2% goal, in part reflecting supply shocks that have driven price increases in certain sectors, including energy. That's, the paragraph goes on to say, but to be clear, the Fed will deliver price stability. My own judgment is the committee spent quite a bit of time, not just in 2 days, but over iterations of a couple of weeks. That's what we're prepared to say about inflation, but the commitment to deliver is strong, unanimous, and unambiguous. And that's, I think, an important message. We've missed for 5 years, and we're going to fix that.
Well, great. And then just on the data task force and everything else, I mean, generally speaking, I think people feel the Fed looks at everything already. Certainly that was the sense from before. Is there data that you feel is not given enough weight? I mean, you mentioned the trim to mean in the past, but again, that's well known to certainly most Fed members. So what is that task force looking at, and what might be I mean, I know you don't want to prejudge the outcome, but are there examples of data that you expect might be given more weight? Thank you.
So you're answering my question. So let me say, I don't want to prejudge the outcome. I also don't want to say too much about what they're going to do, because I still have a phone call or two to make before I've nailed down the people that are doing that. I'm interested in what the outside experts' view is on the subject. I'll say this generally. Most of the data that central bankers and other government officials in the United States consume come with old-fashioned survey methods. a national accounts of what the US economy looks like that looks very little like the US economy in 2026. Survey methods that don't have response rates that we need, asking questions that might have been quite applicable a generation ago that are less applicable now. So even inside of official statistics, I would be open-minded if the task force and our own best thinking had recommendations how those official statistics can be brought up to a standard of our time using new analytic methods. I'd also say this, almost every private company CEO that's running his or her business are doing so with real-time information that isn't subject to much revision, that is telling them what just happened at that very moment. As you know, there are normal, long and variable lags in the conduct of monetary policy. What we're really interested in is what's happening right now. What we're less interested in is echoes of history. And you're hearing from my answer that some of the data that we receive, that we're waiting on, the first Friday after the month, the payroll index or something else, that might be an echo of history that's quite useful on its third revision. We need to take those error bounds down because we have to make hard decisions in real time. I'm really open-minded that there is a lot of new data sources that we can learn from the private sector, from reforms in the official sector, and new analytic techniques that are far more refined than asking a simple question about whether something was core or non-core.
Edward.
Thanks. Welcome, Mr. Chairman. Edward Lawrence with Fox Business. So if you don't give a lot of ongoing forward guidance, won't the markets have more volatility, and shouldn't Americans have more access into what you're thinking going forward?
So I think financial markets perform best when they react to incoming data. I think the financial markets work less efficiently when they ask a question, how will the Federal Reserve react to that incoming information? The more that markets are paying attention to what's happening in the real economy, deciding what's good data and what's less good data, the more financial markets can price what they believe is the most likely and what are the tail risks. Financial market prices are probably the most important source of information to guide central bankers. But when all the financial markets are doing is reflecting back what we've said, then we're taking the most important source of information and we're being blind to it. I'd like us to create a system where those blinders come off, where markets are following data that they efficiently think is reliable, and they'll be watching data, we'll be watching data. They'll come with better information through market prices to us. We can make more informed decisions with ultimately the goal that I said at the outset, deliver on the price stability objective that Congress told us to do, and that we've got to get in the business of doing.
Yeah, if I could take you in the meeting a little bit. This is your first meeting. The board members seem fairly hawkish when you listen to, in general, when you listen to what they're saying. Was there any discussion of a rate cut going forward today?
There was one proposal on the table. There was no discussion of any other proposals. The discussion on that proposal, I would say, was quite limited. The group was unanimous and unambiguous on it. It has been the practice of this central bank and others to have a range of alternatives. Today we had one. I thought it furthered discussion, deepened it, and made it clear what we needed to do and how we needed to deliver. I wouldn't prejudge what happens in the future, but there was only one big subject for us. We took it on. We had a good family fight on it for a couple of days, and we ended up, I think, in a better place.
Claire.
Thanks a lot, Claire Jones, Financial Times. Coming to this blind, reading this very nice short statement that I think we've all appreciated in the room, one might wonder why you didn't raise rates today, considering what you're saying here about the risks to US inflation and your mandate. I guess, why not, and what would you need to see in order to get to that place? And secondly, on your task forces, are there any best practices at other central banks that you'd consider looking at? Thank you.
I'm glad they're in the practice of giving you 2 questions, because my answer to your first question was going to be very curt. I've got nothing more to say than the statement itself. And to the point of the question I got before, market reactions to what we say unfiltered, I think is more helpful than having delivered a statement and me then improvising further upon it. Best practices of task forces. This is a subject I've thought some about. I've been on a task force or 2 in my life. Best practice, find the best minds. Ensure that the task forces have a range of people, both by backgrounds and predispositions, so they too can have a bit of a family fight. Make sure when you establish a task force that the group that's going to be the recipient of the information feels as though they've got some equities in it too. That's why we're looking for, haven't done the final roll call, some of the most significant talent we have in the building and across the reserve banks on each of these, and in some sense seconding them to this group for a period of some number of months, so that the leaders of the task force know what the most analytical
What's up, everybody?
central bank in the world thinks about that. They can reflect on it. And a final best practice, we're not outsourcing decisions to anybody. Administrations past and present, reserve banks have chosen a group of 19 people around the table. These will be our decisions. We can agree to some of the recommendations, disagree with others, have a good family fight about it. But what comes from them will, I hope and believe, make the discussion we have internally better, stronger, more of a dialectic.
Ginger, what's up, Sin? Great motion. Jay Rember, Davey Boy.
Just
Good
a
afternoon,
quick
brother. God
follow-up
bless,
on
God bless.
your markets point. If you look at
Don't forget to
2-year
like and
yields,
subscribe,
they're really
everyone.
suggesting that
Low-key
markets
dist-
think
oh.
more tightening is
Afternoon, Jay.
needed.
Afternoon, Gray.
Would that be your read on what the 2-year yield is saying as well?
We were in such a good place. This is why we don't do third questions, I presume. I'm not going to offer any commentary on market reaction over the last 30 or 60 minutes. What we've given markets is a new chapter for the central bank, some fresh thinking. What we've given markets and households and businesses, I think, is a commitment to ask ourselves hard questions such that we can deliver on the promises that we've made before. This is a lot of change for financial markets to digest. I wouldn't be particularly intrigued by how they react in the first several minutes or even first several days. What I think is most important is that financial markets, and at least as important, households and businesses know that this central bank will deliver on price stability.
Brian.
Hi there, Chairman Warsh. Brian Chung with NBC News. Thank you for taking our questions. So when you say that we've dropped forward guidance for the layperson, that might sound like the Fed's going to say less or offer less insight into where their borrowing costs might go. So for the person that maybe you might run into at the grocery store, where the price tags are rising at a faster pace than their wages at the moment, how would you explain it to them? I don't know if task force might be the answer there, but how would you kind of communicate this era, this chapter of the Fed?
If I told somebody in the milk aisle that I had a task force for that, I think that would be doing a very poor job. So I appreciate it. If I saw somebody in the grocery store, what I would say to them is that we cannot have a very significant effect on particular prices. The price of oil in the markets today, or even the price of a dozen eggs, that does not have first order consequences to what we're doing. But we do have a really important job there. And it's to make sure that those changes in oil or beef or eggs or milk don't broaden in the economy, don't have second and third order effects. That's our job. That's our commitment. That's our capability, and we're going to deliver on it.
And then is the Fed's relationship with the Treasury also under review? There was the normal breakfast meetings with the Treasury Secretary. Is that something you intend to continue doing? And have you had conversations with the president since you're swearing in?
So on the president, I don't have anything for you. With respect to the Treasury Secretary, he has been posting pictures of our breakfast. So I don't think I can deny that. The long tradition at the central bank is that the Fed chairman and the Treasury Secretary meet weekly. I think we've pulled off 3 of those so far. I believe he's overseas this week, so this will be the exception to the rule. I think they're very useful discussions. The central bank's objectives and our roles and responsibilities are quite delineated from the fiscal authorities. And in my view, monetary policy is independent in the conduct of what we do. But that doesn't mean we're not interested in what's happening with the fiscal authorities. The way I think about it is this central bank needs to have a wide lens, but a narrow remit. We need to be quite interested in what's happening in the world. I won't be breaking any news here to suggest I'm quite interested in what's happening in the Middle East. That does have some effect on our day job. It doesn't mean it's our responsibility, but I think we're going to keep a wide lens, and my meetings with Secretary Besson to this point have helped widen that aperture. So we're aware of things that could affect our day job, even if it isn't.
Steve Leisman, CNBC. Mr. Chair, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for taking my question. You had said in the before you became chairman that you thought productivity was a reason why the Federal Reserve could lower interest rates. Do you still believe that to be the case?
So the committee had a discussion of productivity today. AI came up. The way I thought about it before and socialized with the group is that artificial intelligence, the latest generation of general purpose technology, is perhaps as important a change in the economy and business and households that we've had in my adult lifetime. It is filled with both a huge opportunity and with risks. I take both of those very seriously. You may have heard me say before that AI is shorthand perhaps for American ingenuity. That doesn't mean that it's going to be easy. That certainly doesn't mean it's not going to be disruptive. But over the long term, my conviction, and I heard quite a bit of support for this around the committee today, is the United States is a winner as we go down this. The United States is ultimately going to be better off in that. Now, to bring that back to the conduct of policy, timing, scale, speed, implications for output and employment, it's one of the things we have a task force to do.
If you don't mind, a follow-up from the other side, which is that when you look at the strong job growth that's out there, the elevated inflation, GDP seems to be going pretty good, and the stock market seems to be soaring. Do you look around this economy and see the funds rate being restrictive?
So that's your second question. I'm going to give the same answer that I gave before. I'd say as I think about the conduct of policy, what matters is what's the effect of policy, not what do we say, but what happens. And the best way I can describe it is it's uneven. I do see some restrictiveness in things like housing. It's hard to use those same words anywhere else. I'll just make one other point. You talked about one of our dual mandates on the employment side. I don't believe that we have a cruel choice. I don't share the view that was expressed a few generations ago that Federal Reserve chairmen show up at a podium like this and say, you got to choose. And you're going to have to decide whether you're willing to tolerate higher inflation to put more people at work. I don't believe in that. What I believe is if we do our job, we can make strong growth, low prices, and strong employment mutually compatible. And so what you heard from the committee today is we've got some work to do on this price stability front.
Nick.
Thank you, Nick Timmeros with Wall Street Journal. Chairman Warsh, you've said repeatedly credibility is earned by delivering. If credibility requires delivering, the move would be to tighten or at least to threaten to. Now, you didn't do that today. Why not?
That judgment you expressed was not expressed by any of the 19 people around the table. We'll be meeting in 6 weeks. We'll take up the issue again.
And if I could ask about AI, the build out is generating enormous demand right now, CapEx, data centers, power. The productivity payoff may be further out. So in your judgment today, is AI adding more to demand or to supply?
It's a good question. At the central bank in an economics profession, what we spend most of our time doing is counting demand.
Oh my God, you guys are killing me.
We can see it, we can count it, we can check it, we can revise it. What we do though is we infer supply. You'll notice in the second paragraph of what one of your colleagues described as a very short statement.
You're killing me, Senator
We have
Gray.
a sentence on the demand side and a sentence about the same length on the supply side. They're both important. Just because we can count one better than the other doesn't mean we're going to favor one more than the other. With respect to AI and the growth of data centers and infrastructure around it, we're counting the demand side, and it is no doubt showing up in GDP figures. We can be less certain when we infer the timing and extent of the growth in the supply side. It may well be an intuition the supply side is going to expand, but it'll take longer. I just describe it this way. There's a race between supply and demand. Milton Friedman says that the only thing we know about economics is that there's a supply line and a demand line they ultimately cross. When they cross and what are the implications for policy? The good news for you is we have a task force for that.
Andrew.
Supply side stimulus. We talked about this last night.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman. It sounded like on the task force on data that you were looking at overhauling or completely overhauling the system of national accounts, the way the government mines the economy. Is that your ambition?
In a word, no. In a few words, much of this data gathering happens in other government agencies.
Dude, you took the words right out of my mouth, bro.
A tremendous amount of respect, tremendous amount of deference. But if in the course of this, we come up with recommendations, which Fed staff have already begun to develop about things that they could be doing to help inform us as policymakers, we're not
very
gonna
quiet
hesitate.
men.
Again, I don't want to try to delineate the four corners of the research of the task force on data, but I do think there will be a review of official statistics, and at least as important, a view of bringing the best practices from the private sector and new analytical tools made possible by AI, so we can forge these into a fabric that gives us better real-time information. So as I mentioned before, when we're making decisions, we're making decisions that we'd say are real contemporaneous data, not data that we call contemporaneous, that's really an echo of history.
Okay, thanks. The other question I wanted to ask is related to the building renovations. Are you considering any changes to the renovations, the projects, just in light of the fact that they became kind of a political football in the last year?
I heard something about that. I don't think I'm breaking any news, but my view, when you show up at a new institution, you should go meet with the inspector general, just as a matter of good practice. It's a practice that I hope to continue. I've had one meeting with the inspector general, and he told me what I believe the world knows, which he'll be coming out with a report on the building and the building projects at some point later this summer. I'll be interested in reading the report. From my perspective, with a forward-looking glance, is there anything that we can be doing or should be doing from this moment until the completion of the project to do what we can to be good stewards of taxpayer money and make sure that we're delivering on the promises that we made? Some more work to do. You might not be surprised in the first few weeks. I've been somewhat preoccupied on other matters, but I promised it to get to the full breadth of the Fed's tasks in the weeks ahead.
Victoria.
Hi, Victoria Guida with Politico. So I know that you did not submit a forecast, but you are the person who is authorized to speak on behalf of the FOMC. So I'm wondering if you could tell us in the SEP, the increase in the expectations for inflation, is that all because of the Iran war? What was the discussion around what would the expectations for inflation being higher and also potentially growth being slower?
This is good. Listen up, guys. Listen.
My read of what I heard in the room reflected, I must admit, in the SEPs, is half of my colleagues thought the policy rate, given all those developments, should be at this level or lower between now and year end, and the other half thought higher. That 19th voter was me, and I didn't submit one. There's a range of views on the questions of first and second round effects, no resolution or conviction, but we'll be meeting again in 6 weeks. I think we're going to know more then. And I think that my colleagues are very attentive to incoming developments between now and then.
And can I just quick follow up on the
6
SEP?
weeks.
You said that you're still encouraging your
down the road.
Your fellow committee members to submit forecasts, even if you're not doing it. So what do you think is the benefit of them doing it, even if you don't?
That's the commitment that the FOMC made. And it's a commitment that I hope we live up to. Commitment we made was to deliver price stability. I expect us to live up to it. By the time we get to the end of this year, as I mentioned, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a new communications framework. There were some changes to the SEP. That's a committee discussion, a robust discussion. I think we'll have it. I believe we're going to come to a better mix of communications to deliver on what we promised, but I wouldn't want to prejudge what those are. But between now and then, I would continue to expect colleagues to submit their SEPs. Some of them, I think, believe that the practice is currently structured is okay, but I heard a lot of interest in real reform generally about all these topics. You didn't ask it, but I'll answer. It was a pretty gracious couple of days, and it's been a pretty warm few weeks. The institution wants to figure out how we can do better. The institution's going back to first principles, and I'm encouraged that what we've done in the statement, what we're thinking about doing with respect to the SEP, that instinct towards a new chapter is a real one. And by the end of the year, I hope we can put some points on the board, both in form and in substance of delivering.
Going to end up for the last question.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Andy Curran, Bloomberg News. Could you guide us through, please, some of the principles that guide your own reaction function, and tell us a little bit about kind of conditions that you think when the Fed should respond?
It's going to be a very unsatisfactory answer to the final question. The Federal Reserve has a lot of responsibilities, not just in monetary policy, but in supervision and regulation, consumer affairs, and payments. My own view is our credibility comes from delivering on what we're saying we're going to do across everything we do. I've devoted more time in my first 3 weeks to monetary policy than all those things. But the more we deliver on our promises as good supervisors and good regulators, the more benefit we get, the more credibility enhancement we have in monetary policy. When we deliver on our price stability objectives, which we will, the American people will feel as though the hardships that they've been living through, in part because of inflation the last 5 years, are in the rear view mirror. And that credibility will have dividends across what we do. And the institution will come to press conferences like this, always with an impetus to reform, always with an impetus to do better. But we're going to put some points on the board.
Mr. Chairman, we've got strong labor data in recent months. How would you sum up the labor market right now? Do you see it as stable and as potentially a source of inflation? Thank you.
Yeah. So the committee. If I were to try to capture how the committee thought about it, the committee thought that the labor markets were stable. There were some people around the committee who thought that it was trending better than that. Trends matter more than data points. What's happening over 3 or 6 months matters more than any one data point, any one data release. And I'd say the jobs data has been moving in a good direction. If I heard one other thing around that subject over the course of the last couple of days, what I heard was that strong productivity-led growth is not something that we fear, but something we embrace. Thank you all very much.
Everybody still awake? Is everyone still awake, ladies and gentlemen? That was a historic meeting right there. That was Kevin Warsh, his first Fed meeting of many. And let's just say him and Matthew Cratter was not roommates for no reason. The price is too damn high. Barely, Sid said. Even with the new coffee, Sid? Even with the extra coffee? Federal Reserve held the rates, did not raise. Same. It is the same, ladies and gentlemen. Eyes are still crossed. Yes, me too, man. Me too. Let me share this again. Share screen. Hold on. Boom. Okay, there it is, guys. Let me zoom in here. Let me zoom in. This is the Fed rates right here. This is the Fred. Let me the St. Louis Fred. Let me copy and paste this and put it in the chat so you guys can have this on your desktop so you can look at it with me. Basically, this is the EFFR, the effective federal fund rate. This is the federal fund rate to the banks from the Fed. And right now, we are holding between 3.5 or 350 basis points to 3.25 basis points. And we held steady. This was the 8th meeting in a row with no rate change whatsoever. So what did Kevin Warsh say? He said inflation is still too high. He needs to cut it. It's still too high and sticky. The Fed now expects only one rate cut for the rest of 2026 instead of 2. So we're going to push the can down the road. It's always, we'll see in next 6 weeks. We'll see in 6 weeks. We'll see in 6 weeks. Bro, I just had lunch. This was not this was not an itis-friendly Fed meeting. Oh my gosh, Ed. Oh wow. Yeah, I'm still fasting, bro. So thank God I didn't eat, because the itis would have definitely kicked in. Well, I know what I'm listening to tonight to fall asleep, Sin. Okay. Anytime I have a female over here with me and I put on Matthew Cratter, they're like, how are you not falling asleep? Matthew Cratter's roommate, ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Warsh. And so how did it affect the market? Let's take a look at that. Bitcoin is down a tiny bit, $460. No biggie. Let's take a look at the S&P 500. We don't really care about it, but hey, we'll just see it. S&P 500 right now is down $38, $39. NASDAQ is up 26. The Dow is down 155. The VIX ain't doing much. The Dixie is holding steady at 100, but it's breaking out by 74 cents, up 0.76%. Strategy is down a little bit. What's gold and silver doing? Gold is down a tiny bit, $76, 1.76%. Silver's down $1.56, 2.25%. Is this BNN, BS News Network, or just a live stream? Both. I'm going to talk about some political stuff and BNN, sir. The women just fell asleep listening to you. The women just fell asleep listening to you. Is this BNN, BS News Network, or just a live stream? Pumping the DXY, of course, sir. They got to do that. They got to prop that dollar up, make it look good. But we'll see, man. We'll see what happens. And again, nothing we didn't expect, nothing the market didn't expect. We knew the Fed was not going to cut rates. Obviously, interest rates are a key thing for inflation. Warsh did acknowledge that Trump's tariffs are putting upward pressures on prices. He did say that. Markets were hoping for more dovish signals. Bitcoin dropped after announcement just a tiny bit. So they kept them the same. And lower interest rates over the long term are generally bullish for us. We know why. Because cheap money flows into risky assets like Bitcoin. Higher steady high rates are bearish because people prefer safer investments that pay good interest. Because Bitcoin's not safe, according to the market. The Fed is staying cautious and only expects one cut. This is mildly bearish for Bitcoin in the short term. So we'll see, man. We'll see what happens. Again, nothing crazy. Nothing unexpected, like I said. And what are we doing here with the fear and greed index for Bitcoin? Ladies and gentlemen, this is BNN/World News Today. Live stream with Jerry Loves Freedom. And we're going to let our nuts hang today, guys. We're going to hang out for a little bit. And that's okay. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to be completely honest with you. All right. I'm a little bit hungry. I haven't eaten nothing yet. I did drink a cup of coffee about 9:45, 10. So I'm okay. Coffee keeps my hunger down. But we'll see how that goes. The fear and greed index is 22. Extremely fearful. Yesterday it was 23. So it's down a little bit from yesterday. No biggie. And again, gold right now is $4,200. $246. Why do I always talk about gold? Gold is the real money. The Fed shouldn't cut rates, but you need to cut calories. The Fed shouldn't cut rates, but you need to cut calories. Yeah, I do, sir. I do. I'm 270 something pounds. So if I want to get down to 190, I do need to cut some calories, sir. What do you guys think about peptides, man? I got a really close person to me that's on peptides, and we were looking at Chris Johnson's page yesterday, and he's openly talking about he's on peptides. So what do you guys think about that? Body fat down, Bitcoin stack up, the wealthy squad away. Let's see what this says.
What's up, guys? Good morning and happy Tuesday. I hope that you're having a great morning so far if you're up, and I hope that you are. I just wanted to jump on here because this morning a thought kind of hit me. You know, I was training this morning. I was feeling good. I typically keep my hoodie on for the entirety of my training session, but this morning I felt hot. I felt good. So I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to take this pump cover off or this hoodie off. And there was a bunch of youngsters that were jacked in the gym. So that was like a driver for me to like push myself. And honestly, I'm not posting for that audience. I'm posting for the dads. I'm posting for the dudes that are around my age. I'm almost 40. So for me, it's not so much an accomplishment. It's just a reminder. You could still do it, man. Stop putting it off. Stop acting like tomorrow is promised.
Agreed. What's up, Jerry? Hope you're well. I am well, man. How are you? Break Nation Sports. Good to see you. Since that we could talk about that on a one-on-one basis. I haven't done a lot of research on it. I've had people, let's just say, offer me that stuff. They say, hey, man, I got what you need, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't, honestly, I haven't done a lot of research. I think I'm going to, though. You know, I like Chris Johnson, and I like some other people that are on it, too. How is it long term? I don't know. Bro went viral proposing to his girl at concert. Of course, he's a Bitcoin. He's wearing our Bitcoin hat. Love is gangsta. Is that Chris Johnson or somebody else? Oh, it's somebody else. It's one of his homeboys, I think. But yeah, he said he's been using the tides, the peptides. Boat day. Young man's got some money. Peptides changed my life, bro. Look at that before and after. Look at that before and after. Again, I don't know if it's healthy or not. The easy way out is never the right way. I'm with that too, man, to be honest with you. I'm with that too, because at the end of the day, in order for me to be 190 pounds like I want to be, I'm 6'2". I'd like to be 190. Reason I picked 190 because I was 170 something in high school, and I got like a basketball player body. So when I look at some ball players, some of the NBA players at my height, they're about 185, 190. So I'd like to be in there. The low range 190, the high range 210. The biggest mistake is looking to peptides to take care of the fundamentals of what you need to do first. Wise words, sir. I agree. Yeah, you got to change, man. You got to change. I got a big ass appetite, man. So what I've been doing lately, guys, I've been really, really being conscious about what I eat and being very, how can I say this? Being very slow and methodical when I eat, because I'm a fast eater as well. So I've been drinking a whole 16-ounce glass of water, and then I chew my food. I set my timer for 20 minutes. And by the time I take my first bite to the last bite, I have to take 20 minutes to eat. And I got to be honest, that's been helping me. I've been full lately. You know, I've been the normal portions I'll have. Like if I go to Panda Express, sometimes I'll get the bigger plate. I'll show you. I'll show you the menu if you guys haven't been to Panda Express. Panda Express. So let me show you what I get. I go to Panda Express. Let's see, our food, our philosophy, our values, our shop, our food order now. Okay, let's look, see what they got. Bowl of plate. Okay, so normally when I go, I know the troll's going to get a kick out of this. Normally, when I go, I get the bigger plate. Clearly, right? I get the bigger plate. Three meats. I love meat. Pause. Chair T Chi for the win for baby boomers. Chair T Shy for the win. So I'll get 3 meats, and then I would get rice and broccoli. That's what my normal thing would get. And what would I get? I get orange chicken, teriyaki chicken, and walnut shrimp, minus the walnuts. I'm at 208 at 6 foot tall, and people call me skinny, so you probably don't need to go to 190. Okay. But I'm 6'2", though, bro. But do you got some muscle on you, spaceman? Peptides are nothing new. Diabetics have been on certain peptides for decades, insulin. However, pimping that peptide on the social isn't very sexy. Got you, bro. Got you, sir. I appreciate the outlook. So that's what I get. I get 3 meats, and I get rice and broccoli. So what I'm doing now is I'm like, you know what? Now instead of getting the bigger plate, guys, now I get the plate. I get the plate. Now, I don't know why it says one side because they always give you 2 sides. But I don't get noodles and I don't get fried rice. What I get now is I get a tiny bit of white rice, a tiny bit. It's like 20% of my side. And then the other 80%, I get all vegetables. All right. And then the meat that I get teriyaki chicken and orange chicken. Right. I'm not saying this is the healthiest food in the world, but calories in, calories out. Right. You would probably look like Manu Bowl. You know what's so funny about that? When I was a kid, I was dark-skinned, and I was 170-something pounds with no muscle, spaceman. At 6'2", they used to call me Manu Bowl. But 190 with some muscle on me. Again, I'm going to see what I look like at 210. Again, I'm 277 right now, 276. So I have a lot of fat to get rid of, man. A lot. I got way too much on me. You know, a lot of females like, oh, I like it, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, nah, man, this is not healthy. I got to get it off. Skinned? No, not skinned. We're skin on it. So I get the 2 meats, the teriyaki chicken and the orange chicken. And then sodium content Panda Express 2 entree plate typically range from 1,500 to 24 milligrams, depending on specific entrees and size chosen. Okay, that's my question, Sin. Right? Because I'm getting mixed things with that. A lot of people say you need salt, right? Like right now, I have I'm taking these LMNT electrolyte drink mix, and it's saying salt is not bad for you, right? I guess it depends on what kind of salt. But this pack right here has 1,000 milligrams of sodium. Now I don't use the whole thing because I don't like the way it tastes. But is sodium really that bad for you guys? But anyway, so I get that, and then I have a 0-calorie root beer that I take to the place with me, and I drink that. That's a whole lot of processed salt and also probably MSG. Oh boy. Why you always got to set me straight, son? Why do you always got to set me straight? Yeah. And you ain't talking about Madison Square Garden, are you, sir? You ain't talking about MSG, Madison Square Garden. We'll get back to that in a minute. So the Bitcoin halving is 1 year, 289 days from now, 18 hours, 46 minutes, 10 seconds. We're moving along with that. We're going to do a couple of spins here, guys. Let me make sure I got everybody on the wheel that I need to. Let's do a few spins here. Let's see what block height we started at. Let's see, 10, 20. We'll start at 129, 130, 131. That's what we'll do. Sea salt in your water. That's all you need. Hey, Sharon. Sharon, how are you? So LMNT is not good, huh? Me, please. Got you, Ginger. Thank you. Did I tell you Sharon's a troublemaker? Even more of a troublemaker Then Michelle. Sharon. I do want to play that clip, but that's a long clip. It's a minute and a half. But you guys know what's up with Sharon. Sharon, if you want me to play it, I will. I don't mean to embarrass you, Sharon. Ginger, thank you so much for that kind donation last night, man. I really appreciate it. Ginger sent me in 10,000 sats last night, which was crazy. I was not expecting that. Thank you, man. Great Motion. Speaking of a freaking donation, Great Motion sends in a donation. Thank you, Great Motion. That helps with the payroll, sir. Been a while. Sorry for the neglect. No. He sends in 1,541 sats, Gray Motion. That's a Gray Motions app. And he says, been a while. Sorry for the neglect. No, it's all good, man. I appreciate it, but I don't expect it. You know what I mean? And I really appreciate that. That's a lot of sats, brother. All natural electrolytes. That's all you need. Oh, 3 kisses. Okay, Sharon. How do I get that? You're welcome. Thank you, brother. Thank you again, man. Me trouble? Yes. Yes, you are, man. Anyways, let's do a couple of spins and then we'll get into the proceedings this evening. It is Wednesday, June 17, 2026. Fed day. Fed rate cut day? No. Fed stay like it is day. Thank you guys so much for being here. We're going to start at the Bitcoin block out at 129. And we'll be here for a little bit. We'll have some fun, spin some wheels, and let's see what we can learn today. So without further ado, let's spin it and let's see who can win it. Looks like, Jenny's not here. Jenny is not here yet. Geraldo, what's up, bro? How are you? Good to see you, man. I just kept Jenny on here like she's here. Is Fanny here yet? I don't think Fanny's here. Fanny, are you here? Let me know, because only the people that are here, I got to give it to them. So sound off in the chat if you're here, please, and thank you. I know Backpacker is here, but he's not with Fanny right now. Got to get me on that wheel, my friend. Okay, Spaceman. We'll do it again, brother. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Yeah, call me out, man. We'll do it again. Gimmick infringement. Yes. Whatever, man. No doubt, brother. It's all good, man. Good to see you, man. Good to see you, Bolshi. I love Fanny. She loves you too. Flattery. She's listening in the background. Okay. Sorry, Backpacker. I thought you were out and about working or something. They are at the vet listening. Okay, cool. Fanny 420. All right, let's spin it again. Let's see who can win it again. For block 130. Spaceman. He says, no, thank you, Jerry. Oh, Spaceman, what I'm going to do for you, sir, because I didn't have you on the wheel and you were here, I'm going to give you double. I'm going to give you 840 for your troubles, okay? Instead of 420. Sorry about that, Spaceman. I appreciate you being here, brother. All right, Spaceman got 840 for 130. Let's see if we can get block 131. Thank you, Spaceman. Space Mizzle. Space Hodler's in the house. Hodler, congratulations. Hey, Hodler, can you do us a favor? Can you tell us a little bit about the wheel, please? Can you give us something?
Spin that wheel, here it's real, such a flying, that's the deal. Round it goes, watch it land, Bitcoin prices in your hand.
It is. She's the winner. All right, so that's all the blocks right now. 129. Oh no, we got another one. 132. 132. One just came out. Cool. Let's do another spin. Hodler's the winner. Let's see who can win 132. Hodl gang, remember? Sharon is the winner. Boy, is Sharon a troublemaker or what? Is she a troublemaker? This will happen when I saw her at the at the casino. It seemed like time stopped. It was crazy. Take a look.
Baby, oh baby, my sweet baby, you're the one.
Time stops when I see Sharon. I'll tell you that. You don't have to do that. You got 30 miles to feet. Oh, woohoo, Sharon. Is that De Niro? No, that was me, man. Seeing Sharon. When I saw Sharon, I just couldn't believe what I saw, man. But he kind of looks like him, doesn't he? Yeah, that was Sharon when she came to Vegas. You should have saw what she did to get that introduction. Anyways, guys, like I said, the Fed rate meeting was today. And again, we held steady. 8 meetings in a row. We're still between the target rate of 3.5 or 350 bips to 375 bips. We're still stuck at 3.63. And what are they going to do? 6 weeks. That's what they're going to tell us. 6 weeks, guys. We'll see you in 6 weeks. We'll see what happens. And again, no surprises. We knew it was going to happen. And again, what does that mean for Bitcoin? There's only one way to lower interest rates. I mean, lower inflation. You gotta raise interest rates. You have to. But I think this inflation, quote unquote, is temporary. Their target goal is to only steal from you at a 2% clip. Compounding, by the way. Which is still stealing from you. Are they gonna really keep up with the inflation rate? No. No, they're not. Because we know the inflation rate is a lie. Whatever number they give you, I would triple it. That's what I do. If they say it's 3%, 4%, I just triple it. 9 to 12% year over year. That's how I see it. By the way, guys, I ran across this channel the other day. I meant to show you this. This guy is called Biking Bitcoin. Biking Bitcoin. He said, I biked double the miles for Uber Eats and earned. So let's check this out. This guy's got a good video, man. So let's check out his first one. This was 12 days ago. Can I bike to a whole Bitcoin doing Uber Eats? Let me put his, and he's only, let's see. He had 18 subscribers. He's got 19 subscribers, guys. Let's get this guy some more subscribers. Let's watch his first video. Give him some love from the BFF family. Let's see what he's talking about. I am a PhD candidate, and 2 weeks ago I finished a semester, which is a problem because I am now unemployed and very bored. So I'm going to stack Bitcoin on my bike with the goal of biking to a full Bitcoin, by doing food delivery. That sound familiar? Does that sound familiar?
So we just picked up the first order, and we have in here, we got a big bag of food, and then they got 2 drinks. It's kind of a bummer.
Oh, watch what he does with those drinks. Jerry, him and I are setting up a podcast soon. I talk with him. Good, man. Good. We need him out there, man. That's good, Anthony.
Oh no. Shit, dude. That was not good. All right. Note to self. Never do that again.
So he ran around that corner and he spilled the drink. The drink spilled. I've done that before.
That just spilled all over the ground. I really don't know what to do at this point.
Yeah. See, if I ever do that, if I'm right next to the restaurant, I'll go back in there and say, hey, can I get a little bit more? I messed up. And I'll go to the thing. He won't have an ass left. He better get an e-bike just in case, for real. Yeah, he looked like he was right at the restaurant. He should have went back in there if he was still there.
Boom. First delivery done. Yo, all I have to say is fuck drinks.
I got to be honest. I thought about doing that, getting a bike and doing it just for the exercise and shit like that, but it's just too damn hot in Vegas, man. And some of these orders, because Vegas and Henderson and Spring Valley and all that, a lot of things are spread apart. And if I got an order for 7 miles, oh, that's a long bike ride. And you're not going to get there in 10 minutes, man. You know, you're going to probably go 1/3 of the speed on a bike from a car. So, but yeah, check his channel out, man. He's got a good channel, man. He's doing great things. I love stuff like that, man. I love it. Let's see our girl, Sin, talking about Warsh's first Fed meeting ahead of the meeting. Let's see if they got it right.
Today, Federal Reserve Chair Kevin Warsh will lead his first interest rate meeting and press conference. Right now, of course, most economists do expect the Fed to leave rates unchanged, but investors and small businesses will be listening closely for what Kevin Warsh says about the months ahead. And joining us now to discuss what we can expect is former Trump White House economic advisor Steve Moore. Good morning to you, sir.
Hi, Jan.
So with energy prices falling, inflation now easing a bit, real wages rising, the economy is continuing to show some strength. What message do you expect Warsh to send about the possibility of rate cuts later this year?
That's a good one. Well, listen, I mean, this meeting couldn't come at a better time because we have this apparent, peace deal that looks like it's going to stick. And that means we're going to see the flow of oil, increasing. And we're going to see, hopefully, that price of oil continue to fall. And so gas prices will fall and food prices will fall, et cetera. So that makes Kevin Warsh's job a little bit easier, doesn't it, Jam? Because the natural force will bring those prices down. I've known Kevin Warsh for a long time. He was my choice for Fed chair. I think he'll be excellent. And I'll say this about him: he is dedicated to bringing that inflation rate down. He's what we call inflation hawk. So he wants to bring that inflation rate, which is now running at 4.2%, down to below 2%. And maybe why not get it down to 0%? I think consumers would love to see that. But I do not expect the Fed to raise or lower interest rates at this meeting.
All right. And we're expecting him to speak, I think, around 2 p.m. Eastern, and look forward to that. And I want to ask you about this article you recently wrote about the 40th anniversary of the 1986 Tax Reform Act. You called it one of the most important economic achievements of the Reagan years. Why was that reform so successful? And is there a path for Congress to replicate something like it today, please?
This was a miracle. I was in Washington in 1986. I just arrived in D.C., and it was a miracle. What we did was we lowered all the tax rates from 50% down to 28%, and we got rid of almost all the loopholes in the tax system. It was kind of a miracle. And what's a real miracle about this, Jan, is that it passed the United States Senate 97-3, including votes from people like Al Gore and people like Ted Kennedy and even some of the most liberal senators. So it was one of the great bipartisan achievements by some estimates.
Yeah, that's when the Democrats were sane, and they weren't so damn far left.
By lowering those rates and getting rid of all the special loopholes in the tax code, it raised the American economy by about $1 trillion. Your question is a good one. Could we do it again? Could we get the Democrats and Republicans together?
No, we can't. No, we cannot get the Republicans and Democrats together. Democrats are actively working against the best interest for the country because Trump has the best interest for the country. And whatever Trump says or does is bad. So no, we can't do it.
And because we haven't cleaned out the barn of the tax code now for 40 years. It's time to do it again. But I don't know. I mean, the Democrats today in the Congress are a lot different than they were back then when you had people like Bill Bradley and others who really wanted to do something great for the country. And boy, did we. And it was truly bipartisan. The Democrats ran the House under Dan Rostenkowski, and the Republicans ran the Senate. And they came together and passed a great piece of legislation.
I mean,
it was a great piece, but they can't do it anymore. They can't even decide which side is the best side of the street. But anyways, there's some controversy going on with the director of national intelligence, the DNI, and Trump is holding back his nomination to push the SAVE Act. So let's see about that. Fox News was covering that. So let's check that out. And let's see. I think our boy was on there, Senator Kennedy, one of our favorite senators from Louisiana. let's see what they have to say about Trump pushing back the nomination to get the SAVE Act push, and I'll give you my thoughts on it.
And we have more on this with Senator John Kennedy. Thanks so much for being here. Vice President Vance was on the 5 last night. I asked him about FISA being on the fritz at the moment because of the situation, and then you have this plot. Watch here.
If somebody had been engaged in foreign terrorist activities, communicating with these guys, we would actually be kind of blind to it right now because FISA has lapsed and FISA has expired. I'm a big believer that if you're going to, of course, wiretap an American citizen, you got to have a warrant. But if you have some crazy person outside the country planning a terrorist attack, we've got to be able to get access to that information right away. It's one of the reasons why, we care so much about this particular program.
What's the level of concern for officials that this program is not available right now?
Well, I slightly disagree with my friend, the vice president. The program is available. All the thousands of prior, what we call certificates.
By the way, the FISA, if you don't know, it's the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Agency or Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act. And it's a law that they want to pass. And thank God. Again, we caught these people, and it's kind of like a secret court. And, I got my thoughts on it. Some people say it's good. Some people say it's a secret. That's why I said secret. A secret surveillance on America. Again, I'm glad they caught those people that did this. And I'm up in the air on it because if we weren't doing the work that we were doing and could surveil people, then our president might have been killed and a lot of people would have got killed. Maybe. You know what I'm saying? So again, I don't like their surveillance, but it is what it is. You guys get my gist.
All the thousands of prior, what we call certifications, which means consent to surveil foreign terrorists, are still in effect. We just can't initiate.
Yeah, but is it just foreign terrorists or is it everybody? You know what I'm saying, Senator Kennedy? With all due respect, right? And again, was this part of the reason why those guys got caught on Signal the other day? I don't know. The crazy person out of the country will use Signal so easy to spot and find, regardless of FISA. Not a fan of FISA at all. Yeah, me neither. Snowden, yes, I know. I know, bro. I know, man. I know. Sis said that part. Yes, sir.
New ones, so the lights are not out at FISA. I feel about this whole thing. I mean, I feel gratitude. I feel disgust. I'm glad that these guys got caught. I feel disgust. Even duct tape and WD-40 can't fix stupid. What a bunch of goobers. Our intelligence, FISA or not, is the best in the world, and I'm glad they were caught. But, these guys, they're more than just mildly insane as far as I'm concerned, and I hope they all get to spend some quality time with Bubba in a federal penitentiary.
Well, it appears their parents turned them in, so we will watch that story. And just for the record, I've not heard the word goobers in some time.
And by the way, this story is so getting brushed under the rug by the mainstream media. It's just ridiculous, man. That 19-year-old has been through some ish. I haven't looked into it yet, Sin. Those boys. I have not looked into that.
And I leave it to you to bring it back to our lexicon today.
Well,
on a more serious matter, let's make some news on what's happening with regard to this hearing. At 4 a.m. Our time, 10 o'clock in the morning in France, the president dropped this on Truth Social. The Republicans agreed with Democrats to remove very fair and talented William Pulte from...
Well, you spelled it wrong, President Trump. You should have put a B in there. The Republicans agree with Democrats. You should have put a B in there, man.
serving as acting DNI in return for getting FISA approved by the Democrats. I would not approve FISA without the Save America Act going along with it.
So the Republicans agree with Democrats to remove very fair and talented William Pulte from serving as acting DNI in return for getting FISA approved by the Democrats. This is what I'm talking about with these Republicans, man. Again, anytime you hear bipartisan, it's the uniparty, ladies and gentlemen. It's the swamp. It's the toilet. It's the sewer. And, why would you agree with that, man? No, just look at him. How the hell is that a 19-year-old? Oh, okay. In that picture. Okay, I'm gonna go back. Hold on. Let's see. Is this the dude that's 19 years old? Holy shit. Is this the one? I'm guessing? Jesus. Yeah, he looks like a 40-year-old, bro.
Very fair and talented William Pulte from serving as acting DNI in return for getting FISA approved by the Democrats. I will not approve FISA without the Save America Act going along with it. That means that Jay Clayton's hearing apparently was suspended. Tom Cotton went to X 10 minutes ago and said that hearing will go forward. Based on what you know, what is the status of this nomination and this hearing and where we are on it, Senator?
Well, at the moment, it's a multiple vehicle pileup, Bill. The president is aggressively unpredictable. We thought we had things worked out. We don't. These are the president's nominees. He's entitled to pull them or go forward with them, as is his pleasure. I'm not particularly surprised. I don't know if you remember that movie, Glengarry, Glenn Ross, but there's a line in there where the protagonist says, he's a salesman. He said, always be selling, always be selling, always be selling. Well, that's President Trump. He's got two speeds, 0 and 1,000 miles an hour. And the president's upset. He wants Bill Pulte in there. The Congress has pushed back, and he wants Pulte, and we're going to have to deal with it. And it is what it is.
All right.
That's facts. I mean, I agree with that assessment. Again, Trump is not perfect, but he's a salesman, man. He's always selling. Now, is he selling the right thing and the right message all the time? Probably not. You know what I'm saying? But he's trying to do his thing, and I trust Senator Kennedy. I think Senator Kennedy's a Bitcoiner too. You know what I mean? Hello, coin dogs. What's up, Jordan? Jordan with a score. What's good, man? How are you? Let me put you on this motherfucking wheel, brother. Jordan for the score. Joe, I was listening to your video, that last video you made. I forgot how long it was, but that was a good video, man. Very good video, bro. Let's see, Satoshi. Good to see you, Jor. Let me put Iron Dog on here too. Oh, baby. Sorry, at the vet, George swallowed a sewing needle. Oh, wow. Dude just quoted legendary Glenn Ross. Kind of epic, yes. Is he okay, Fanny? Dang, George. That's my boy. Nicest dog in the world. But yeah, that's what's going on with that. Again, the Fed rates, no surprises there. And Trump, he's playing chess, allegedly. Trump arrives for dinner. Let's see this one here. Trump is arriving for dinner, hosted by Macron at the Palace of Versailles, or whatever. Let's see Trump. Every time I hate seeing Donald Trump out in the open like this, man. I do. I just hate it. Hate it. Hate it. Versailles. Not good, Jerry. Oh, God. Damn it, backpacker. Damn, keep me posted on that, bro. You know I can't pronounce nothing. See, I don't like when Trump is out in the open like this, man. He just keeps going. People try to kill him. He's like, yeah, whatever. And he just keeps going. We are not going to appreciate this man until he's out of office or something happens to him. Watch. I love freaking President Donald Trump, man. Now, is that the right one? Live look at President Trump. Well, you talking about bulletproof windows. Man, that guy rides in style, doesn't he? Yep, that's him. There he is. Man, what am I going to eat today? Today is Wednesday. You know what I might go do? I might go down to that one place on Fremont Street I told you about. It's got the half off smash burger down there. I might go down there. I am hungry, boy. And I want to do some walking. What time is it right now, man? I want to go outside and get some air. Let's see. Is it too hot today? 105. But feels like 107. Jesus. The high is going to be 106. What's the heat index talking about? $109. There he is. Look how they hang all over President Trump. Trump, you kissing a man. Damn. Is Trump kissing a man? I don't know. Is he? According to Candace Owens, that's a man. Speaking of Candace Owens, I want to show you guys a clip from Candace Owens, and I want to get you guys' thoughts on Candace Owens. What do you guys think about her? First of all, is she a Bitcoiner? What's up, bro? Trump. Why did he kiss him, though, man? Just give him like a, you know what I'm saying? Give him a. Gotta run. Mom has pancreatic cancer. Need to go hold her hand. Have a great day, folks. Oh, man, I'm sorry to hear that. Okay, Greg, we love you, man. Thank you for the donation, brother. I appreciate it, bro. Thank you.
President Trump.
S'il vous plaît. S'il vous plaît. Praying for her, Gray. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely.
President Trump. Mr. President. Yeah. Perfect. Par ici. President Trump. One look this way, please. President Trump.
That guy is France. That's what they do in France. True, Sharon. True, true, true. What happens in France stays in France. Absolutely, Sharon. Absolutely. Let's see if we got some spins to do. All right, he's in there now. Let's see if we got some spins to do here. Then I'm going to show you a clip from Candace Owens. Yep, we got a few. All right, we did 129 through 132. We're going to do 133. Thank you guys so much for being here. 134, 135. This is an all-inclusive show, by the way. Politics, Bitcoin, all that stuff. All right. So we're going to do one show today, and that's it. All right. So if there's anything you want me to talk about, send it to me. We'll bring it. You want me to react to something? We'll do it a la carte, okay? 133. Let's do it. Let's do it. Holler again. Boom. Holler, congratulations. Hey, Holler, do you have any recommendations for I don't know, any snowflakes or anything like that? Or anybody that's thinking about coming over to the channel, or any channel recommendations?
If you had to give any last words of wisdom or advice to anybody, what do you think that would be?
I think that would be get your heads out of the gutters, first of all. Invest in Bitcoin. Watch Jerry Loves Freedom. If you're snowflake, just don't go in there, please. You're going to get roasted medium rare. And I think...
Wow. Wow. Holler times 2. You will get roasted medium rare, she says, if you're a snowflake coming up in here. And I got to say, I agree. Holler. I agree. We love you, Holler. You know that. Holler wins 133. Let's see who can win 134. And she's going to show that Joe Rogan's got some questions. Candace Owens. Flipper, congratulations. That's 420. Now, Flipper, listen, I don't have your wallet, Flipper. So if I wanted to like get a hold of you or something, how do I do that? Like, how do I get in contact with you?
281-330-8004.
Okay, that's a start. But can you slow down just a little bit, Flipper?
281-330-8004.
Okay. All right. I got that. But the last number. What's the last number?
281-330-8004.
Fo. Got it. Fo. All right. Congratulations, Flipper. We love you, honey. Flippita. Yes. That's block 134 for Flipper. Who can win 135? Job it and screw it. I should do that. I should. Jor for the score. Hi, I'm new here. What's up, bro? Jor for the score. How are you, man? My name is Jerry from Jerry Loves Freedom, sir. I am a Bitcoiner and a political guy. America first. We love America in this situation. We are against a certain demographic of people. Anyone that doesn't like this country, we don't like them. But welcome in, man. Have you hit the subscribe button yet, sir? If you haven't, go ahead and do that, please. And you will be 3,396. Great, fellow Bitcoiners. Hey, yes. Good to see you, man. This right here, sir, is the wheel of Satoshi, where I spin the wheel. If you become a member of the channel, you will get on the wheel and you can win some sats, bro, if your name is on there. I will now. Thank you, bro. Let's see about that. This is a live shot. This is a live shot at the subscriber count. Has he hit it yet? I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for coming in. How'd you find the channel, by the way? We're doing a little exit survey. I see debt people. Epic shirt. Yeah, I see that. I see debt people. I like it, bro. Is that you and wifey, man? How do you become a member? Good question, sir. We have 3 levels of memberships, man. 3 levels. All right. We got a $3 member level. It's $3 a month, $5 a month, and $7 a month. The $3 a month, you become a member. You can get on the wheel of Satoshi and win 210 sats per spin. There's a join button underneath there. All right. Or you can play directly with sats. Straight to me. We're against the, I'm going to hear sincerely a white guy. Daughter. Okay, cool, man. Cool. You can either join it through the YouTube thing, or you can pay me directly. And then if you do the Bitcoiners for Freedom membership level, $5, you will win 315 sats per spin, and you get 2 stars. And you'll also become a member, and you'll be on the wheel, on the map, on the Bitcoiners for Freedom map. We'll put you on there. All right. And we have a Signal group, and you can join our group, bro. And come in with patriotic, freedom fighting Bitcoiners. We got a good group, man. We got a good group. So good to see you, bro. All right. So George just won that one, correct? Yes, he did. Look at this. Sin Diesel again. Gifted 1 Jerry Loves Freedom membership. Thank you, Sin. I wonder who that went to, because I can't see it on my end. Damn, I'm getting hungry, guys. Holy shoot. I am getting hungry. Let me show you something. Thank you so much, Sin. I appreciate that, bro. Let me show you guys Whole Foods. Whole Foods or Whole Paychecks. Whole Foods. Is it $35 family meal? I've gotten this a few times. Whole Foods $35 family meal. You get a lot of meat on here. Pause. You get some meat and 2 sides. It's a pretty big person. Ready-to-eat meals at under 9 per person are hiding out in this grocery chain. Whole Foods Build Your Own Family Meals offer consumers a ready-to-eat, customizable meal that can feed a family of four for just $35. It's about 3 meals for me, to be honest with you. Thank you, Sin. I appreciate you, bro. Thanks, Sin. What level you at, bro? And went to our Caucasian brother that doesn't like Caucasian brothers. All right, so I'm going to put you on the wheel, bro. Congratulations, man. Or any ex-military? Me. Navy, sir. Navy. Look at Break Nation Sports. Give the one Jerry Loves Freedom membership. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Break Nation Sports, don't worry. Boom. I can't get one without paying it for it. Hey, man, that helps the channel, bro. Thank you so much. All right, so thank you. All right, so let me put Break Nation Sports on here. Do you want me to call you something else, bro? Do you have a name? Nation Sports. And what level is that, Sin? Was it level 1, 2, or 3, sir? And thank you guys so much. That really helps the channel, man. I appreciate that, bro. Very much. Break Nations, do you want me to call you something else? Or do you want me to go by BNS or something? Or let me know, my friend. But yeah, Whole Foods got a really good deal, man. Whole Foods Build Your Own Family Meals offers consumer ready-to-eat customizable meal that can feed a family of 4 for just $35. Each family meal features your choice of protein ranging from options like salmon or tofu. You know we ain't getting no tofu. At about $8.75 per person. This offering costs less than popular meal delivery services, which simply start at around $11 per meal serving. Yeah, it's pretty good, man. Before you become an adult, nobody warned you about how mentally draining and time-consuming it is to feed yourself 3 meals a day. Yeah, it's pretty convenient, man. Nick or Break Nation Sports. Okay. I like Nick. I like Nick, sir. What sports do you cover, man? I think that is level 1. Okay. Thank you, bro. George says fire. BNS is fine too. Whatever's easiest, bro. Okay. Break Nation, please share Sin and home address. Jerry, that is a better choice than Scammed Express. Oh, man. Sid. I thought I was the king of freaking nicknames. Scammed Express. Oh, I can't do a live stream with Sid, man. Oh my gosh, bro. Oh my gosh. So my man, grow with me, grow with Mel. That's how you become a member, man. Hit the join button, or you can inbox me and you can pay me every month with sats. Whatever's easy for you. But we'd like you to come out into the Signal group with us, man. It's semi-private. Come on in with us, man. Come on in with us. All right, we're all caught up with the spins. Again, this is a hybrid show today. BNN plus political news and stuff. And let's see what Strategy's doing right now, or STRC. STRC live shot, guys. Look at this. Today's accumulation: Bitcoin 211.6419 BTC, which is crazy to see that. Can you imagine just doing that for the day? Can you imagine buying 211? I couldn't even buy 211,000 sats versus 211 Bitcoin. Again, they're vacuuming and hoovering up the Bitcoin, man. Straight up. This right here, ladies and gentlemen, is the distribution chart as of today. Where's all the Bitcoin at with the companies? ETFs, other funds, 1.5 billion or 1.5 million Bitcoin, excuse me. Government's got about 650,000. Private companies, 280, just under 282,000. Public companies, 1.2 million Bitcoin. DeFi, smart contracts, 379,000, and exchange and custodians got 114,000, which I don't know if that's right, to be honest with you, with exchanges. The reason I say that is because, Coinbase has got 851,000 Bitcoin by itself. So Strategy is giving BTC the Heather Hunter. Boy, Sid is on. Sid, you on one today, bro. Strategy is giving BTC the Heather Hunter treatment. If you guys don't know who Heather Hunter is, Google her with no children around. And what's that warning for work? What's that warning? Don't open at work. What's that little acronym saying? I don't think people understand how scared Bitcoin is going to be. I love this guy already. I love you, man. Listen, I have if you go to my channel, bro, type in playlist. I have a series every Saturday. It's called Satoshi Saturdays. And we talk about this. If you know, you know, not safe for work. Yes, NSFW. I knew you know. You are absolutely right, bro. This is why I tell people, sir, right here. Strategy is in my portfolio. I really believe one day that will be the most valuable company in the world, which comes from my beliefs in BTC. Okay, if they do right. If they do right. This right here, sir, grow with me or grow with Mel, is Bitcoins per person. Let's take a look at this, sir. Speaking of scarcity, this is, bro, you talking my language, man. When you say scarcity, that's just my language, man, for Bitcoin. Total Bitcoin world population, 244,000 sats. Let me update that. 244,465 sats, aka a quarter milli. Quarter milli. By the way, we have a nice little dip action happening right now. Stack accordingly. Do we now, sir? Do we now? Oh, I love it. Oh, we love it. Which means what, Sin? Which means we can get more sats per dollar, ladies and gentlemen. 1,555 sats per dollar. Grow with me, Mel. Who gives a shit about the price? We care about how many sats we can get per dollar, sir. We talk all about scarcity on this channel, man. So you've come to the right place, sir. And I just eclipsed my 300K sats. Congratulations, man. That's a big accomplishment, bro. Now we got to get you to 1 million. So you have your fair share right now, bro. Right? You have more than your fair share. Fair share is 250,000. We'll just call it 250,000. You're 50,000 more than that. Sin said, don't tell anybody. Sin says, don't tell anybody what you hold, sir. How many Bitcoins have been mined? 20,044,159.375 Bitcoins divided equally with 8.2 billion people, sir. Given that a Bitcoin currently costs $64,299, there are only enough Bitcoins for every person to have about $157 worth. If Bitcoins were distributed using the current global distribution of wealth, 99.9% of people would have about $30 worth of Bitcoin. And people in the top 0.001%, the rest of us, little peons, or the rich people, excuse me, the top 0.001%, we're the peons at the 99.9%, would have 0.73 Bitcoins each. It might make sense just to get some in case it catches on. If enough people think the same way, that becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Satoshi Nakamoto. 1 Bitcoin for every 4 millionaires, plus corporations, plus nation states, plus upper middle class is going to be ridiculous. I love this guy. I love you, man. Grow with Mel. Or is this a female? Sorry. Because it says grow with Mel. Stack sats, baby. Exactly. Now, if you want to be like me, the ultimate DCA is I use Strike. I used Strike. Hello, everyone. Sweating and smiling. What's up, brother? Good to see you, brother. How are you? Adam. Backpacker says, shh. Good morning, folks. How's it going, Jerry? It's going good. Dean, how are you? Let me put you on the wheel, bro. Good to see you, Dean. Welcome in. Dean, what level are you? Dean. I think I gave you an extra one. But let's see what level you are on, sir. Let's see where Dean is on this list. Break Nation Sports. Oh no, he's Break Nation Sports is Bitcoiners for Freedom level. Adam, boom, Dean, boom, boom. Birthday boy Adam. Oh, Adam's birthday. Happy birthday, Adam. Happy birthday, sir. Young man. Nick. Break Nation Sports. Yeah, he got 2 stars. Sin. Thank you so much, Sin. Dean is also a BFF member. Okay, cool. Happy birthday, Adam. Guys, I'm getting hungry, man. I am getting hungry. Dean. Okay, got you. All right, let's do some spins here. 135. I use Strike, Fold, Cash App, River, and Robinhood to stack. Wow. Do you buy every hour on the hour, sir? And is Fold cheaper than Strike? I don't use Cash App is too much. I used to use Cash App. The cheapest one I've used so far, me personally, Grow with Mel is Strike. I have never tried to buy with Fold. I do get a lot of free sats on Fold though. You got it all covered, man. All right, guys. Let me check up out of here, man. I'm going to do a couple spins and I'm gonna get out of here. Unless you guys have something else for me. You know what I mean? Michelle loves freedom. Hey, Michelle. Look at you. How are you? I love that picture. Nice picture. This is my sister from another mister. Good to see you, Michelle. How are you, Mel? Very good to see you. Oh, no, we're all caught up on the spins. We're all caught up. Okay, guys. Well, that's all I got today. Michelle loves freedom. We love you. Thank you guys so much for being here with me. There's only one show today. And I appreciate you guys. Thank you for the... Did I get one donation? I was going to say donations, but let me see. Yeah, I got one donation. Thank you, Gray, for the donation. I appreciate you, man. MLF, it's been a minute. Hey, LOL, thanks. Down bad in crypto, so laying low. Nah, you're not bad. You're good. You're good. Use Fold for everyday purchase. Yes. I stack daily on Robinhood, River, and weekly on Strike. Okay. Wow, bro. You've been in Bitcoin for a minute, huh? Have a good one, everybody. No doubt, guys. Thanks, Jerry. No doubt. Thank you, man. Crypto. MLF with silent I. That would be something Sin would say, sir. Crypto. Yeah, I've been trying not to think about my money being gone. No. Your money's good. Your money is good. All right, guys. We know Jor, bro. That was a good one. I ain't gonna lie to you. That was a good one. Bitcoin and my one shit coin. Okay. Well, anyways, guys, the Fed didn't cut rates today. No biggie. How's that affect us long term? I don't know. They're kicking the can down the road, ladies and gentlemen. What do they say? Oh, 6 weeks. Oh, this or that. Oil prices are down a little bit. That affects us. And inflation is going to keep going up because they only want to steal from us at a 2% rate, guys. That's all they want to do. Just 2%. We just want to take from you 2% every single year. But has your SAT balance dropped? If not, it's just noise. Exactly, Jor. Couldn't have said it better myself. One SAT equals one SAT. But we know the system is crookeder than the letter S. We know that. And speaking of the letter S, we need a money that's scarce. All right? That's uninflatable. Not 2%, not get us to only stealing from us 2%. We need it to be uninflatable. We need this money to be portable. Like in your head portable. Has to be durable, digital, international. Money of the people, for the people, by the people. Money's everywhere. It's money that's everywhere and nowhere at the same time. It's got to be fungible, divisible to the nth degree, verifiable in supply, decentralized, unconfiscatable, and just like yourselves, it's unstoppable. I'll pop in more often, Jerry and Sin. Appreciate you, Michelle. Thank you so much, honey. We love you. You know that. But we got a spending problem in this country, ladies and gentlemen. We're almost at $2 trillion Medicare, Medicaid, $1.6 trillion in Social Security, the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. I think we should be at $1.5 trillion with that. But where do we get the money from? Take away the interest on the debt, that $39.2 trillion. This new system won't do that. But in this old system, if you did what you're supposed to do and been a good little boy and good little girl, You owe $356,000, ladies and gentlemen. And for what? I didn't vote for that. I don't think you did either. But here's what I'm voting for. I'm buying something every hour on the hour. It's the greatest technology when it comes to money ever. The most divisible, best money human beings have ever seen versus the worst money human beings have ever seen. And what will this money do? If you stack this money today, I'm telling you right now, they're going to build statues of you in the future. They're going to inflate the debt away. And if this country stacks this money and brings it on up through the act and gets that reserve bigger and bigger, not only will we break this system into 1 million pieces, we'll pay off that national debt. We'll stop inflation and we'll bring these people to their knees while we're making this country great again by fixing the money. We'll fix the world. And if I had to take a guess, I'm pretty sure you guys already know what that is. It's the best way to save. And for me, the only way to save. And that's Bitcoin. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. And until then, and as you guys know, I love each and every one of you, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace and love, guys.